Hi everyone, Jorgelina with Pame Resources or Pixel Art Mysteries and Education Facebook group. I am excited to share with you a challenge that we want to happen in our Facebook group. I am going to be sharing this amazing, cute little bulldog puppy that Juliane created. So this activity has already all been coded. So everything is in there, it's fully formatted, and I am going to be sharing it in the Facebook group on behalf of Juliane and recording this video to show you just how easy it is to reformat one of our templates. Right, so the purpose of this video is to just get the group moving a little bit more. We've been noticing in the Facebook group that a lot of you are definitely using the activities, but we're not seeing a lot of sharing back. So we're thinking maybe some are brand new and maybe afraid to take the plunge. And we want to show you again just how really simple it is. And others maybe are embarrassed to post in the Facebook group, but we are super excited to see them. We like to see how many of these activities get used and really see the joy in students everywhere just complete them. So even though you can find these templates in our Teachers Pay Teachers account, there's a plethora of them. They are definitely not in short supply in our Facebook group. So I am going to be sharing this one, right? So, or me or Juliane, one of us will be sharing this one that Juliane created. But during the video itself, I'm going to be reformatting a different one. So I'm going to leave this one, this adorable little puppy, up to you. As always, I am going to put timestamps in the description here on YouTube. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it and also hit the subscribe button, right? That helps us have our channel continuing to grow. I think we are getting really close to 2,500 subscribers. So here we go. I am going to go into our Facebook group. I will have this linked in the description as well. And I'm going to be using one of the free templates that's in Facebook, right? So all of the templates that you see on Facebook, right, in our group, they're always free. They're just one click away. And you can find ones that are created by other of our members, right? We have over 60,000 members on Facebook. So I am going to be using the one that Juliane just recently shared for May the 4th. But again, this one's going to be shared soon for you to try it with this puppy. So the puppy's going to be this challenge. Okay, so the first thing, if you're interested in a template, right, it's to search the group, right? So using the little magnifying glass, these are all my recent searches, right? Star Wars, template, circles, escape room, right? So the different things that I am interested in, you can definitely search the group this way. Okay, so and then the group post will look something like this. Here's the one that Juliane shared recently. And then over here at the bottom, we have the copy link. So I am going to go from the post and I am going to post and I'm going to click on here. Make a copy. It says, would you like to make a copy of the Yoda Darth Vader pixel art template? And I am going to hit make a copy. And I totally forgot that for some reason, well, good troubleshooting. I'm going to copy this. It doesn't want to work lately. So let's change this. I am going to open it on... I guess I should explain what I mean by it doesn't want to work lately. So lately, for some reason, these activities don't want to work on Safari for me. So I am an Apple user, but when I go through, right, this is what you're going to see. If I go through Chrome, it'll be fine. So I'm making my copy on Chrome instead. Maybe I misspoke, or maybe it's not going to work at all. There it is. All right, so here is my activity here on Chrome. I like myself. So first, I'm going to check how this activity is formatted. This one's going to be indirectly formatted. I know that because we made this one, right? So when you right click on any of these, so view more cell options, and I'm going to go to conditional formatting. It says indirect in that formula, right? So that formula here has the word indirect in it. That means that the formatting is happening on sheet 2. Okay, so right here, I'm going to type in here. This is where I'm going to put in my answers. Okay. And this is important because there are different ways of formatting. Our templates are formatted indirectly so that it's really easy for you to update them. Okay, so back to sheet 1, I'm going to update this pixel and I am going to add my own content in it. The really cool thing about these is that it doesn't matter if your content is math, if it's English, if it's science, right? So as long as you can type an answer, you can use this pixel, right? So if you can type the question and you can type the answer, you can use these activities. I'm going to change the activity to be 75% so that we can see the whole thing. Okay. You could definitely shrink the size of the pixels and things like that if you wanted to. I'm going to put my directions up here. I am going to make this one an addition one for math facts for my daughter. Okay, so that one's the easiest one for me right now so that I'm not taking forever in a video. But again, this can work on anything. And towards the end of the video, I will show you some examples of ones that I've made for high school math and how intricate you can get with these types of activities. Okay, so I'm going to give it some instructions, and I'm just going to find the sum of each expression. And then over here, I'm going to type the same instructions. I don't know why my computer is giving me a hard time just kind of clicking around. All right. So also, before I do that, because these are always going to be formatted to be the same size, if really you just want to do the same exact instructions like I am going to, you can select the one you just did and hit Control-C to copy and then paste it over on this side. Okay? Or if you have different instructions, you can type something else. Personally, I like to use the first column for one type of problems and then the second one for a different one. So my those instructions do tend to change. So that's why they're there twice. So my daughter right now is doing, she's supposed to know math facts up to 10. So any sum that makes a 10 or less, she's supposed to know them by heart. So she's supposed to know them quickly. So we're going to go with those. So I'm just going to do like 2 plus 3 and then an equal sign. And then the answer to this one is 5. And then we're going to do 3 plus 6. Oh, 3 plus 6 equals. And let's do 7 plus 1 equals 3 plus 5. 4. I'm trying to come up with these just off the top of my head. All right, so here's a couple, right? So I just typed in some problems, and really these can be anything. On this side, I'll put something different. Let's say, like maybe unscramble the following words or something. Unscramble. The following CVC words. And so she knows what those are. So let's see. Something like this. And this should be cat. Right? And maybe that one, and this one's mom, and that one, and this one's dog. Okay, so something like that, right? So that you can see that you can do both, right? So both addition for some math, and then over on the side we have some words here. So this answer to this one is 9, the answer to this one is 8, the answer to this one's also 8, and then this one's 10. Okay, so notice how when I'm typing these answers, my pixels are going away. And the reason why they're going away, it's because the answers aren't coded correctly. Right, so the answers that it originally wanted was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over on the other side, it was 12, 11, 10. So because those answers have now changed, it thinks that these are incorrect. So I need to make my activity think that these are the correct answers, right, for the activity to know this. So the only thing that we got to do is go over to sheet 2. And I'm going to put these answers in for these here, right? So my answer to number 1 was 5. The answer to number 2 was 9, 8, 8, and then 10. And then we changed number 10 to cat, and then the next one was mom, and the next one was dog. Okay, if I did these correctly, if I remembered the answers in the correct order, then when I switch over to sheet 1, I should be able to see the full picture again because all those should now be correct. Okay? So there it is. And really, that's the only thing that you need to do to reformat. You just need to put your questions, set your answers, and the answers are in order, and then you type in your correct answers over here. Okay, so that's all you need to know how to do to reformat and have a working activity. Okay, so if that's all you needed to know, this is as far as you need to go. The next step is to hide these answers. Obviously, we don't want the answer key to just be so easily accessible for students. We want them to just have the activity and for them to find those correct answers. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to show you how to hide those answers. Okay, and before we do that, I want to show you over on the other side what we were looking here for the Bulldog Puppy. Those answers are also on sheet 2, right? They may not be in the same exact spot. They're over here in the middle, right? And the reason why we do that is they do tend to move around, and that's so that students can find them, right? If you use the same types of templates all the time, you are going to be able to find them in different places. Okay. All right. So in this section now, we're going to show you how to hide the answers. So I'm going to go to sheet 2. I like to hide them by changing the font to white. A lot of people will just select all of them and then change the font to white and boom, they're gone, right? But, students tend to be a little bit, students are really smart. And if they want to find the answers, right, they will. So I try to make it a little bit harder for them to find the answers. And the reason for that, I guess, is that if they can go through all my little tips and tricks and still find the answers, then, well, they're doing a lot more than I expected them to do. Okay, so, and if I'm doing this in class while I'm watching them, they shouldn't have access to be clicking around everywhere like this. So I'm going to select all of these. And first, I'm going to change the font to a really tiny size, 1. That's the smallest it'll accept. And virtually, the answers are so tiny, they cannot read them. So I'm going to hide them that way. And then I'm going to change the font to white, but I'm going to change it to white using conditional formatting. And then I'll show you why right now, right? So if I select these right now, right, I'm selecting all of them and I change the font to white, they're going to disappear. But then I can very easily, if I select the whole sheet like this, I can change the font to black for everything and I can see them. So I don't want that. I want to avoid that. So I'm going to select those columns again. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to view more cell options and conditional formatting. Sometimes you don't need to go to view more cell options. That conditional formatting just shows up in this menu, but that's our goal, is to get to conditional formatting. So I'm going to click on conditional formatting. Notice how it turns this greenish color. I'm going to change that color to white because I want the background to be white. And then I'm going to change the text color also to white. So change it to white. And then I'm going to hit done. And as you can see, now these are white. Okay, what's the difference now? The difference now is that most students don't know about conditional formatting. So if they select everything here and change this to black, nothing's going to happen. They have to go into the conditional formatting and change that. So the answers are virtually gone. The other thing that I do before is I select all of the fields like that by clicking this little box here. And then I make this as small as possible. When you select one of them, it's going to change all of them. Now there's no A, B, C, nothing in here for them to search for those fields. And it's really annoying to try and find it. So again, they need to be really good with Google Sheets in order to be able to find those rows and how to unhide these. Okay, so make them really, really small. Again, I selected all of them and then I just held onto one and moved it till it becomes really tiny. Then I'm going to right click on where it says sheet 2 and I'm going to go to hide sheet. And now the sheet is hidden and this is the only thing that students can see. So now how would you assign this to students? Well, if you wanted to assign this to students, you would erase all of your answers. Right? So I would erase all the answers. I'm going to assume there's problems here on the side. So I'm going to go and I'm going to erase all the answers. and then I would share this. This is what I would make copies of my students for. So then that way, when they go through here and they answer the questions, 5, 9, 8, this activity is self-checking, it's changing colors, and it's letting them know that their answers are in fact correct. Students can work in any order. And there you go, right? This last one I think was 18. And so they start seeing all those answers pop up as they're answering their questions. Okay, so that's the activity. So now the way that we end this is by sharing, right? So we want to show you how we want you guys to share over on the group. Obviously, any sharing is great with us. This part isn't crucial. What we want is we want you to share. But what you want is you want your hard work to be seen, right? So when I look over at our group over on Facebook, we see all these amazing things that have been shared in the past, right? So these are all of our recent ones. And then we have some where the picture doesn't show up, right? If you just share the link and the picture doesn't show up, it's just not going to get as much attention. So they're going to be at the bottom because they haven't been getting as much attention, right? So just like this is an amazing activity that someone shared, but it's hard to see because we don't know what that picture is. So what I'm going to show you, and I'm sure you've seen this before, is how to share with a picture. So I'm going to go through. Let's look at my drive. Okay, so let's go to my personal drive. And I'm going to share an activity, but let's see which one. I have so many. See, this is what we were talking about. There's so many activities that I've shared in the past. So I'm trying to find one that maybe I haven't shared in a while. So how about this one? This is a good one. Okay, so this one's an addition and subtraction to 10. So it says add 10, subtract 10. I'm going to share this activity with the group right now. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to take a screenshot of this piece here, right? So I'm going to go to, for a Mac, it's Shift Command 3. It takes a picture of the whole thing, or Shift Command 4. It lets you take a picture of just what you want. So I'm just going to take a picture of just this part here. And then I'm going to share here. I'm going to go to the share button. I'm going to make sure that it says anyone with the link can view, right? So sometimes it's restricted. We want everyone with the link can view. I'm going to hit copy. Then I'm going to go over to Facebook. I'm going to create a post. And I'm going to say, here is an activity for adding and subtracting 10. Link to activity. Sometimes you'll see my posts are really wordy. I try to explain as much as I can. And then I'm going to hit copy. Oh, well, I erased everything. Let's do that again. I realized I was talking through this. I'm going to erase this. Paste. And then I'm going to erase everything up until the word edit, right? So right where the / is at. And I'm going to change that to the word copy. That is what forces everyone to have to make a copy of your activity. When you do that though, it takes away, it just gives you a link. It doesn't show you the image. And we want the image. So I'm going to go to photo here. And then I'm going to add that picture that I screenshotted. So now it's exactly what I wanted to show. It could be, if you wanted it to be just the picture of your image, that would be great, right? So that also works. So I'm going to put here, so here's an activity for adding and subtracting 10 with a teacups from Alice in Wonderland theme. And we've been seeing a lot of Disney in the group. So this one's a good one. Disney. And we're going to say elementary, math. I'm just adding some tags that might help people find this. Okay, so now I'm going to hit post. And this is what we want you to do. If you watch the video and you put questions and answers and you hide them into the activity template that Juliane is going to share with the Bulldog Puppy, then we would love for you to share it back, right? And we would like for you to share it back so that everybody else can also benefit, right? So we're giving you our hard work of creating the template, and we would love if you do take a few minutes to update it and change it, that you share it, because you will see how many teachers benefit from this, and in turn, how many students get to see your work. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment here on Facebook, on YouTube. Let us know on Facebook. We are always willing to help. There's 3 of us, me, Jorgelina, there's Juliane, and there's Debbie, and all 3 of us are always willing to help. So you'll see us just kind of pop in and chat with members all the time. Okay, so that's what we're here for. We're here to help, and we love doing it. And we will see you on the next one. Thank you.